Hey, it's Mom, and today we're cooking ratatouille. Tonight for the ratatouille recipe, we'll go over the ingredients first. We're going to use Italian sausage. I have 5 links here. These are diced, peeled tomatoes, they're fresh Roma tomatoes, an onion, these 5 mushrooms. These are shiitake mushrooms, but you can use regular cultivated mushrooms if you like. Broccoli, 2 zucchini, a green pepper, an eggplant, olive oil, basil, chopped garlic, and a little bit of red pepper. The first thing that we're going to do is start with the Italian sausage. This is just mild Italian sausage. If you like a spicier sausage, by all means use the hot sausage. I'm just going to add some red pepper to our mixture and it'll give it that spice that I'm looking for. I like to peel the sausage skin off. Just put a slice down the skin and then pull the skin. And then when I'm cooking it, instead of slicing it into slices with a knife, I just peel little pieces off. And it forms almost like a little meatball. We're going to go ahead and do that with all of these sausages. Okay, we're just going to add a little bit of olive oil to the pan. This is probably about 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. If you don't have the link sausage, you can use bulk Italian sausage as well. This is the equivalent of about 1 pound of Italian sausage. And we're just going to let that simmer until it's cooked. Okay, while the meat is cooking, we're going to chop up the vegetables. So we have 2 zucchini here. Just cut the ends off. Cut it in quarters. And then just do large chops. We're going to use mushrooms, and you can use any type of mushroom that you like. I've got shiitakes here, so I'm going to use those. One thing about mushrooms that a lot of people don't know is when you buy mushrooms, you want to look at the underside of the mushroom. And I'll show you the difference. The fresher the mushroom is, the more solid this will be under here. But as they get older, you can see all of these different compartments under here, and that's where the mushrooms have spores, and the spores come out from under there. So just when you're shopping for mushrooms, try and look at the underside and look at the difference. So this is kind of the different stages of ripeness, so to speak, where it's kind of closed off and then it starts to open up, and then you can really see all the separate compartments under there. So with these shiitakes, we're just going to cut the very tip off, and I'm going to slice these really thinly. They're a very flavorful mushroom. Ratatouille is one of those dishes that you can pretty much add lots of different ingredients into it. I use what I've got in the fridge. You know, if you don't like mushrooms, don't put them in. If you don't like peppers, don't put them in. Kind of the main staples are the tomatoes, the zucchini, the onion. We like to put eggplant in, but you don't have to put it in if you don't like it. But it's a very inexpensive filler for the dish. So, you know, put what you like in. Okay, the sausage is getting almost done, so I'm going to go ahead and add the tomatoes to the pan now. We're going to get those cooking down. I'm going to add the tomatoes and the garlic at this point. This is just 2 cloves of garlic that's been sliced, peeled and sliced. We're gonna chop the onion now. If you've seen any of my videos before, I talk about how to dice an onion. Just peel it. When you cut off the top, cut off the root, but leave most of the root attached. Cut it in half through the root. And then depending on how big you want your dice, you're going to chop it at wider spaces both ways. So we want big chunks of onions. Ratatouille is kind of a dish that's chunky. So we're going to take 3 or 4 slices through this, and then another 2 this way. We'll take off the root there. We've got nice big chunks of onion. And then we'll talk a little bit about the green peppers. When you cut a green pepper, cut off the bottom, cut off the top, remove this stem from the top, and then you can just cut out this inside, the seed pod. That just pops right out.
Goodbye.
Cut it in half here. I didn't do a very good job when I cut that seed pod out, but there you go. Then you've got 2 nice pieces to dice and make bigger chunks. We'll do about 1 inch this way, and then maybe another 2 slices this way, and then just you take the end and cut it into 4 pieces. The top, just some nice inch slices. Again, if you don't like green pepper, you don't need to put it in, or if it bothers your digestive system. Some people it causes reflux, and we're just going to take the broccoli and cut it into flowerets. We'll cut the stem off and we'll add that in, but just take the stem, and then the flowers you can cut into half, or smaller or larger, however you like it. Add more or less of broccoli or whatever vegetables. If you have cauliflower, you can put cauliflower in. And then the eggplant, we're probably not going to use this whole eggplant. We'll probably use about 1/2. So we'll cut off the end, and then we're just going to slice it long ways, just dicing it essentially. They are slippery. The skin can be a little bit tough. Make sure you're using a sharp knife. Eggplants are a vegetable that really take on the flavor of whatever you're cooking them in. So if you're putting garlic in or olive oil, it's going to suck that up and really absorb the flavor from those ingredients. You can see that the tomatoes are starting to really cook down in this. That's what we want. We're going to add the zucchini now. The zucchini takes probably the longest of the rest of the vegetables to cook. So we want to get them started now. Let them simmer in the pan for a few minutes before you add the rest of the ingredients. You can add the onions and the mushrooms. The broccoli and the green peppers I like to add closer to the end so that they retain their nice crisp green color. Dry, so we're just going to add a little bit of water to it. This is about 2 cups in here. You may have to continually add, just keep it wet. You want it to be kind of saucy. The zucchini is starting to cook and get soft. I'm going to go ahead and add the eggplant now. gonna go ahead and add the basil and the red pepper, and then we're gonna taste it for salt. This is probably about a teaspoon of dried basil. If you have fresh basil, by all means use it. And probably a quarter of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. It depends on how spicy you like it. This doesn't take much because it's going to be soaking in it and kind of stewing with the red pepper flakes. It will incorporate through the whole dish. So add just a little bit. You can always add more when you're eating it if it doesn't taste spicy enough, but you'll be surprised how that little bit of red pepper can actually make it really spicy. I'm just going to go ahead and take a taste to see how it is on the salt. We'll probably have to add a teaspoon or so of salt. Actually, it's pretty good. I'm just going to add a little sprinkle. This is maybe a quarter to a half a teaspoon. And remember, when you're seasoning, just add a little bit, taste it. If it needs more, add more. It's harder to take the spice away once you've added it than it is to just add a little bit more to the pan if it needs it. This is really good. I think I'm going to add the broccoli and the green peppers now. It's very close to being done. You can see that the zucchini is getting soft. The meat is cooked. The mushrooms are great. Onions. Everything is just about ready. I'm going to add a little bit more water to it as we add the vegetables. It needs a little bit more sauce or a little bit more moisture. So that was about 2 full cups that we added to this recipe. Just let that broccoli and green pepper cook for probably 5 minutes. And then when you serve this, if you're like our family, we like to eat it just like this, or we'll put it over an egg noodle, or you can serve it over rice. Either way, it's really delicious. I'm going to go ahead and give this one last taste. It's excellent. We don't even need to add anything to it at this point. This is all ready, so we're going to serve it up. And again, you can serve it over noodles, you can serve it over rice. We just like it like this in a bowl. Look how beautiful that is. So here we have it, ratatouille. Beautiful sausage, peppers, zucchini, eggplant, any vegetable that you have in your home. It's a great, easy dish. It's very nutritious, low in calories. There you go. Try it. I think you'll enjoy it. Until next time, cheers. Don't forget, if you like this recipe, subscribe to our channel, like our Facebook page, and don't forget to share it with all your friends. If you have any questions or suggestions,